Hi, this is Chrissy Incognito, and welcome to another episode of my show. Now, you might be wondering why I'm incognito. This is my alter ego that can say things that I cannot otherwise say unless I was incognito. So, thank you for returning. In order to understand more about this episode, view the previous episode. Happy listening. Hi, and welcome back. It's been a while since I videoed. I've been busy with the dissertation part of the doctoral degree. So we'll get into all of that at a different time, but it has become very accelerated, and I just am so burnt out working and then doing this and everything like that. So I'm back. So I was thinking about every time this time of year, which is Christmas time, that's when Greg and I were in the throes, the blown throes of breaking up. So I get a little sad around this time because um I think of all the times, all the Christmases that we were very happy and together. And then I think about the last that we were, it was just horrible, a horrible breaking up. But I sort of designed it that way, as you can see from all the other videos. I did not take it well. And I don't believe I should have taken it well, you know. But anyway, so it is this weekend. So it is now December 22nd, 2024. So 10 years ago is when we were officially breaking up. Okay. So I was going through my Christmas decorations. I was trying to figure out what I was going to display, what maybe I even wanted to get rid of. And you're not going to know what this is, but um, I found this, okay? It's very pretty. It was my parents. At some point, my parents are like, "We don't need it anymore." It's a tree topper, okay? And I was looking at it, and I just happened to look underneath. Just I don't know why I looked underneath. There shouldn't be anything in it. But lo and behold, I found two notes. Okay. So Greg and I would hide things around each other's house. And then so then this way, like when you open the coffee, a little love note would be in there, or you would open the mirror in the bathroom and a little love note would be there. He actually started that. And lo and behold, I'm like, I see something in here. I'm like, don't tell me that's what I think it is. I was like, you have got to be kidding. So, so I don't know if you can see this. I don't even know if it's backwards. But that was one of his notes to me. And I don't know if he put two in there at once or he put one in and just forgot he had another one in there, the year later or something like that. So, yeah, I had mentioned at some point that I think I posted that video, that it took me 2 hours to manually um, tear up all these type of love notes because we were going to do like a scrapbook. We were going to do something with them one day as like a tribute to our love. But I just think it was weird. At first I was like, what is the chances of anything being there, and what is the chances of something from him being in there? So I just thought it was really weird, and I thought it was um pretty fitting that it's the 10-year anniversary of our breaking up and stuff. So I do want to talk a little bit about this. So what it is that I miss who I was in a relationship with. I miss that Greg. I miss that person. I miss I miss who I was when I was in the relationship with him. Um I miss us. I miss that person and I miss who I was. So I do still mourn for that because that's something I never had an issue with and I never wanted it to stop. What I don't want is like if he were to walk through the door tomorrow, right? Um we wouldn't be compatible anymore because I don't love him. So all the little things that were never a big deal, they would become a big deal now. Not only because he screwed me over, but it's just he was obsessed with the beach. Like the way I'm obsessed with dogs, he was obsessed with the beach. Now he was also obsessed with dogs. But so anytime there was a dog, anything like everything stopped and I had to address the baby, okay? So he was obsessed with it. He took, you know, all of our vacations had to revolve around the local beach. It wasn't like Bahama. It wasn't anything glamorous like the Bahamas or a Bermuda or, Aruba or something, mature and real. It was always the local beach. So it was he was obsessed with it. He was obsessed with it. I did not look at it like he was obsessed. I looked at it the way I was with dogs. And I am obsessed with dogs. But I mean in a sense of I didn't realize how it was all about him. Okay. So in the winter, in the summer, in the rain, in the snow, we had to go to the fucking beach. We had to go to the beach. We had to walk along the sand and obviously there was things to do there. It wasn't just a beach. I mean, there's shops and there's restaurants and so it's not like and sometimes in some of them there were like tourist attractions that we would go and see and you know but that would no longer be okay. I was like I would be like you are not bringing me -3 degrees to the fucking beach. Like there's a lot of stuff that we just would not be and I'm sure that that's still his thing, just like dogs are still my thing. um there's just a lot of things like that, that they would no longer be acceptable, and I would no longer like, I did it because I loved him. I knew how much it meant to him. I knew how much he just loved it. And so everything had to revolve around that. Because I don't love you now, that's unacceptable. I'm not being First of all, I don't like going to the beach to begin with. I like pools, but I don't like beaches. It's hot, it's sandy. You get knocked over by a lot of waves. I'm not a strong swimmer, and you burn to fucking death. And you're nowhere near a bathroom. Yes, you pee in the ocean, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about it's a hassle. Where if you're in a pool, right, you have to bring everything there. Where you're at a pool, you just go under an umbrella. And there's the bathroom 3 steps away, you know. So, and he liked the pool too, and whatnot. But so I still mourn for that original person, and I would never be compatible with this present person. Um, so that saddens me. And then the real, 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 real big thing is that there's nothing and no one. That's just how it is. So so me and my friend who's also single, and she is on the dating websites, and her her interest in a guy is different than mine. And I think her type of guy is a lot more out there than my type. I like clean cut. I like, educated. I like, you know, well rounded. She likes I don't want to say bad boy, but she likes the biker type, the man's man type. And that's just, I'm not compatible with that. I mean, some of them look good, but that's not. I need a guy who bathes and shaves and showers. So, she cannot find anybody. I mean, she's been on a lot of dates, and either they just want hookups, either they want to get married, or it's like they have too much going on that. a relationship is not going to be a priority. So, and I don't even feel like there's anybody she's even connected with. It's not even I met somebody, but it's the wrong time for him, or he's got these other priorities, but we get along really. No, there's just nothing. There's just nothing out there. So we were going to sign up. We did sign up for speed dating. Now, there are no guys in my area. It's just what it is. You have to go a little bit more towards the city to find like humans. Um, but anyway, um, so we signed up for this speed dating, and we got an alert that the women, because you could sign up either as a man or a woman, whichever you're going to be there. And the women's tickets were all sold out. Okay. And I told my friend, I was like, it's going to be you and me and a bunch of middle-aged desperate women like we are, and that's it, and like two guys. So it was canceled because no guys registered for this thing. Now, most guys d- don't do that. They don't, I don't know. We're not in a really like city place, so it's not, I don't know, it's just not what people do in this area. It did not surprise me um that it got canceled because there were no men. Of course, why would there be? And, so that happened, and then we went to a '90s dance at a winery. Now, again, men aren't really gonna be there unless they're dragged there by their girlfriends, boyfriends, or wives? Again, there was nobody there, and everybody was coupled up. It wasn't a dating type of thing, but, I just remember back in the day, single guys being all over the place. So it's just really, really depressing that there isn't anything to move on to. And I know when we were breaking up, that was one of the things I was dreading. Part of it, I didn't want to lose him and us. And then part of it, I knew. So I always say this. I wouldn't have chosen Greg if there was anybody my age to date. I mean, it it wasn't that I was looking for somebody younger. I wanted somebody who I was compatible with and that was human looking. You don't have to be like great, but please don't make me want to throw up. And so yeah, I mean, it's either the real young, so I was 35 at the time and he was 20, or real old. And everything else is either taken or they're just in the middle of a divorce or they're in the middle of custody or they're in middle of bankruptcy because they got divorced. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. So the ones that are kind of free are the ones that are older. So if I was 35, maybe like 60, or the ones that are younger that haven't lived enough to screw up their life yet. And the 60-year-old, he already screwed up his life and he's past that stage. So it's just very difficult. And I always said that. I always said that if there was guys, I wouldn't have chosen Greg. Now, granted, we were together and I was completely and utterly in love with him. But initially, I wouldn't have even went down that road. Why would I? I don't have anything in common with, like, somebody who's 20. The thing is, we had a lot in common. He doesn't have a lot in common with people his own age. Um, but that's another story. Um